Hi, it's Andrew Larratt, General Manager of Sport Business, and I'm out here at the AIS with Patrick Walker, who's the CEO of the Australian Sports Foundation. Patrick, thanks a lot for coming on the show, as we might call it.
It's great to be here, even though it's cold.
It is very fresh. Now, can you tell us about, why is fundraising really important to sporting clubs and organisations around Australia?
Look, I guess the first reason is there's never enough money to go around. I mean, governments have got lots of calls on their funding, and the funds that they do have tend to go to a few of the larger sports, maybe the sports with a higher profile. Sponsorship funds tend to go to those sports with a higher profile and a bigger TV deal as well. So all of sport, including the grassroots, has got to look at other sources of revenue, and that's where philanthropic fundraising comes in.
So I've heard that the arts is actually sort of get significant amount of funds through philanthropy and the like. Why doesn't sport get its share, and what can we do?
Look, a couple of reasons. I mean, first of all, I'd like to give you the scale of that. There's about $11.5 billion a year donated in Australia, of which the arts is estimated to get about $500 million a year. You compare that with sport, sport gets less than $50 million a year. So there's a long way to go. Why does that happen? A couple of reasons, I think. Sport tends to think of, when it's trying to generate revenues, it tends to think of sponsorship. Sponsorship's only a $700 million market in Australia, and yet all of sport is scrabbling to get a slice of that pie. It's not really looking at the philanthropic market like the arts is doing. Secondly, the arts has made a very good case for selling its importance to the community, building rounded individuals. Sport can do that just as well. It builds resilience, it builds teamwork, it builds leadership, improves physical health, improves mental health. Sport's got a great story to tell, just doesn't really tell it very well. But I think the most important reason is the arts asks. You can't walk into a theatre, a gallery, a museum around Australia that hasn't got a list of donors in the foyer, the people who contributed to supporting those. And sport needs to put itself in the same position.
All right, so there's some big opportunity there, really, isn't there?
We think so.
Yeah, so I suppose looking forward, what's the real call to action? I mean, how can sporting clubs, organisations get involved? But further, how can the Australian public actually open their wallets and support Australian sport?
Look, two great questions. Let's take the Australian public first of all, the philanthropic community and Australian sports lovers. One of the roles of the Sports Foundation as the peak body for philanthropy in sport is we're out there trying to encourage the community to understand the social benefits of sport. So we're trying to make it easier and more natural for people to give to sport. Turning around to the sports side, the first thing the sporting community needs to do is actually start building fundraising and philanthropy into your revenue model and your revenue streams. And again, coming back to the Sports Foundation, we're there to help that happen. We're here to build the capacity of sport to run fundraising campaigns and ask its communities for help. So get in touch with us and build it into your revenue streams going forward.
Patrick Walker, outstanding to have you on. I think there's a huge opportunity to build the capacity of diversifying revenue in Australian sport. Thank you to the Australian Sports Foundation. We appreciate your work.